And it's 1 minute to go. We're going to be inside Game 3. Game 3 is going to be the home map of the Chinese team. It's going to be Dry Arabia. We know that because we saw the restart of the game. So they went for Dry Arabia. The civilizations are going to be a little bit different this time around for the Unforeseen team. Just as we were mentioning before, Aztec is going to be the civilization picked instead of Chinese or Spanish, which are the most common picked civilizations when it comes to the fourth civilization. But do explain to me, I'm interested to know, what's so good about Mayans?
Well, Mayans obviously being a great flank and viable as an option in the middle, but I think the main bonus is just having the wall bonus for the whole team. So just having to pay 2 stone instead of 5 stone if you want to manage team walls is just so much better because you basically save a villager. You don't have to send on stone early on to finish your walls.
Good to know, good to know. Right now, on the point of view of Mr. Chris, the legendary Chris, let's take a look at the positions. He's going to be playing as Mongols here at the right side. Going to have the support of his teammate Menelis. Menelis completely without sheep. He was forced to go straight for the berries. He's got a couple of villagers scattered around the map here on the stragglers. Not the ideal start for him. And he's going to be Aztec's pocket. Definitely not what they were expecting to have. Unless they are pretty much hoping to go for a sling anyway. On the left side, we've got here Miguel playing as Hunt's Pocket. Incredibly strong combination. And he's going to be supporting Nikov playing as Mayans once more. And Nikov is going to have the opposition of Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao is playing with the teal color as Mayans as well. Mayan on Mayan war on this side. Mayans are going to be supported by Lix playing as Spanish once more in the pocket position. And yeah, I would be afraid of that considering the performance this guy was able to present in the first game. On the other side, we've got Hunt being played as Xinhua in the pocket position. What about the positions in the map, Nilbert?
Oh, Lux is stealing a board.
Well,
yeah,
there it is.
He is able to.
Oh,
So
there it
let's
is,
take a
Nikov.
look at positions. The big thing for SY, obviously, it's very good to have the both Paladin civilizations in the middle and have the 2 Archer civilizations as flank. So perfect positioning for SY there. Problem for the Unforeseen team is Mantalus being pocket, so he kind of has to go for the sling. But most of the times you have like 2 options. Do I sling my flank or do I sling the other flank? But in this time, he can't sling the other flank because it's Mayan's flank from Nikov. So if he wants to sling, he only could sling Chris here.
It's got to be Chris, I understand. And there he goes, the boar steal has been successful. And this lets me wonder, why did Lix play the Border Dispute game? Seems like he's got a lot of practice when it comes to sealing. Perfect steal. Landed just right under the TC of Xiao Xiao. Nicely done here. And just as he correctly pointed out, the question here is going to be, what is Menelis going to do? I guess it has to be a sling, right? There's no other option. And taking a look at Chris's map, he seems to have a very good map in my opinion here. Nilford, what do you think about it? It's got a back gold, he's got wood, a very big wood patch here at the right side of his base. At the left side, he's got one as well. Slinging him could be a very good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris did an interesting thing. He went for an offensive mill before the lumber camp.
An offensive mill, I like that. An offensive mill, I like that.
Yeah, and actually before the lumber camp is pretty rare as well. So interesting choice. But then now sending a herd villager on wood, that's never a good thing. Chris not playing optimal there. One option you have as a pocket when Mantle is positioned now, obviously could be like drushing for your flank. But having your flank Mongols just makes this not as effective as it could be.
Oh boy, Nikov is definitely not having any luck when it comes to boars. Looks like he's gonna lose just another boar. I guess that was the second one. I'm going to assume that the one under his CC is gonna be a stolen one. Because I do see another boar coming in with Mayan's Eagle Warrior. That was Xiao Xiong. So apparently Nikov stole a boar, but he lost both of the ones he had. So once more, Nikov gonna be 1 boar behind, unfortunately for him. He's got a nice amount of deer here. He's got 3 deer here. The front side of his base is gonna be luring them. The first one is on the way. And considering how well practiced these guys are when it comes to luring, I'm expecting to see that deer landing just right under his CC.
Yeah, absolutely. They're so good with luring deers, and as you can see, a reasonable distance.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's take a look at the feudal time of Chris here.
A feudal time. What? 5 minutes 40? What? That was his click time? That's
Yeah,
incredibly
exactly.
fast, isn't it?
Reaching feudal age is
17 population. I mean, I've seen 19 population before, and I thought that was incredibly fast, but 17 population. You think he's
Without
gonna
loom.
have, without loom, you think he's gonna have enough resources, enough economy for scouts, which is what I'm assuming he's gonna go for.
Well, he obviously is trying to build like 2 or something. And let's take a look if he's going for the mill upgrade and the wood upgrade.
Now, I would assume he will need to skip at least one of them. Yeah, so far as I can see, he's not making any of those. Not the
Yeah,
wood
he's
upgrade.
lacking wood.
Yeah, I guess he will try to do at least the wood upgrade. I feel like it's necessary. Anyway, I'm right now at the point of view of Chris, and I did see Menelis crossing, flaring where the pocket is. So maybe Chris is just gonna go straight into the pocket and ignore the flank for now.
Oh, and Mantalus is rushing from the middle as well. It seems like Mantalus will rush against Yo, and Chris will scout rush against Jinghua.
Oh,
Very
wow.
interesting.
Oh, wow. These are definitely not the standard options here. This is not the standard team game you see in a tournament. Let's try to
And
understand.
followed up by Stonewall as well.
Yeah, let's let me take a look at that. Is Chris trying to stonewall? Yes, he's trying to stonewall. Let me see, where does he have his rally point? It's sort of in the middle between Mr. Yo and Xinhua, so it's going to be hard to understand where he's going to go. Looks like Mr. Yo was trying to go for the stable here. Chris is going to be able to deny it. Nice catch here by Chris. He could be able to take one of the villagers. Probably not, though, because the TC is very close. But denying his stable is already a nice victory here, Nilford.
Yeah, absolutely. Having his force scout out pretty soon should be able to wall a lot with Stonewall. But the map is too open to have a successful team wall here, as it seems. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how Chris will decide to wall here. And I don't really have a good recommendation for him.
Well, let me see. The drush is just now coming in from Menalist. I'm left wondering if he's going to be helping his teammate or if he's going to be just drushing Mr. Yo while Chris is going to go for the pocket. Looks like that indeed is going to be their option. You can see that the team communication once more on spot here. Blue player already completely walled. You can see his wood line is walled. You can see the gold line is walled as well. Only the berries are left for Chris to attack. Does Chris know where it is? He can see it now. It's time to go for it right now, Chris, and he can see it. He's placing his scouts at the right position between the mill and the town center. He's going to be able to get one villager at least, I reckon. Or maybe not. Not even one villager.
Close.
Nope,
Oh,
not
even
getting
12
it.
HP unsaved.
Not getting it. And Menalist is going to be having a hard time himself to try to do something because look at the walls from Mr. Yo. Virtually perfect, in my opinion.
Well, pretty tight indeed, not using too many resources
So
there.
only a couple of
Still saving
palisades, right? And completely protected. I guess Menalist is going to be
Chris,
running
scouts
here.
got in. Against the villagers of Lavcheng.
Well, I guess there's not a... Well, he killed one, yeah, right? I think he was able to kill
two
one.
villagers were there, yeah.
Well, let me take a look. Yeah, 2 deaths here for Hingwa, so nice job, nice catch there. Was able to get in. Okay, take 2 villagers with him. It's a very nice success already. Let me take a look at what his Menalist going to do. Does he have enough vision on the TC, on the center, on the base of Mr. Yo? He does know where the wood line is. I would assume he's going to go there right now. Unfortunately for him, Mr. Yo is going to be a little bit faster than him. He's already completely walled. So once more, there's not really a spot here where Mr. Yo could be useful with that rush. Or Menalist could be useful with that rush.
Yeah, that's so true. You're doing a great defense there, and Chris is now trying to find a good spot. Maybe the berries got overforged, so he could get something
Oh
there.
boy.
But
Oh boy.
Yo's doing a good job.
That could be good. That could be good. No, but Mr. Yo sees that straight away. Perfectly done here by Mr. Yo. Still didn't lose a single villager, but there's another opening. Chris just missed it. And by a split second, there was another opening right there. I think he's going to go back, but there it is. Mr. Yo is too fast for you.
Yeah, great play by Mr. Yo there. And as I said, Chris just not having a good map. It will be so tough for him to have a good wall. And as you saw, he's trying to build a big Chinese wall actually, but not really succeeding.
Oh, and something that I don't like at all. Look at the scouts here for Mr. Yo. They're going to catch the villagers from Menalist off guard. I wasn't able to see if Menalist has dropped a market. He's dropping a market and a blacksmith, though apparently he's gonna go for Fat's Castle and not really a sling.
It seems like a defense with monks should be his choice, but look at how much he's trying to wall. all the map, and still Miguel and Chris are open, so this does not make sense. And Mentalist is even walling at bad places, and they could easily have team walled if they decided to wall so much.
I
Not the greatest team play here.
Good thing for him is he's going to be able to take down all the scouts here from Mr. Yo. There it is. Only one of the scouts is left, and he's on very low HP. It's a nice job when it comes to that. I guess here is when the main bonus would be so useful as well, Milford, right? It's going to be spending so many resources dropping those walls, those very big walls.
Indeed, saving some stone there helps out so much because you don't have to send villagers on stone as already mentioned. And yeah, but still the walls could have been so much better when the team communication just would have been a bit better. Let's try to see what the other side is showing us, because there was some action as well. Nikov against Chao Ching, a lot of archers dying there.
Yeah, see a couple of those archers from Nikov are gonna die against the tower. That tower was just so deadly for him. He just lost a whole lot of archers by trying to attack against that
slinging
tower.
Miguel.
Who's gonna be slinging?
Mentalist is slinging Miguel.
Okay, let me try to understand what is that. Okay, so that means Mentalist is gonna be slinging the Hunt's Pocket. What do you think about that?
Not the greatest option. Not the greatest option if you ask me. Because obviously, Pocket, the wait just takes so much longer. And Chao Ching is Castle Age anyways. He has defensive expos, +2 defense. Miguel is now showing that he has Bloodlines and the 1 defense upgrade with his scout. So Chao Ching just should stay defensive. Maybe even add a monastery, and I think he will not do too much because obviously, oh no, Lux is going for +2, 2 stables as well.
Okay, so no conquistadors from him this time around. Interesting, especially considering how well he did with them in the game before. Anyway, the Drush from Mentalist here, I'm afraid, didn't do a single thing. I guess he's bothering Mr. Yu a little bit here with those militia, but there's nothing he can do against those archers. Those archers are going to be enough to just scare them away, and there you go. Many militia still alive, but not really much you can do with them.
Yeah, trying to out-micro some. Maybe just I'd send my militia just in the corner and hope to catch a villager at some stage in the game.
Right, yeah, I guess that's what he's going to do. Just going to try to hide them away for a couple of minutes. And maybe at some point into the game trying to surprise the enemy. The scouts from Chris are still there, being annoying here on Hingwa's base. I think he was able to take a couple of villagers. Let me take a look at the dashboard. There it is. He was able to kill 4 villagers, if I'm not mistaken. Nice job with a couple of scouts being able to do so much damage. But look at the stone walls from Chris. He definitely is going to be playing this very, very safe.
Yeah, and I think he invested just too much. Having 3 villagers still walling, some even idle, not the greatest play. And I think just the strategy choice wasn't the greatest for the map he had.
I will put myself on the point of view of Miguel. He's the one getting the sling from Mentalist, as Nilford just correctly pointed out before. He's got a whole lot of knights, a lot more than the Chinese player, that is Lix. Lix only got 4, he's going to be facing at least 6 knights, almost fully upgraded, missing the 2nd armor upgrade. And what about the Chinese team? Are they slinging anyone?
No, all players going into reasonable non-sling games here. We are in Castle Age Yo soon to be clicking up as well. So each player kind of playing for themselves now.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, right? Look at what's happening here for Nikov. He was left alone. The communication was definitely not ideal there with his teammate Miguel. Nikov had so many archers, it ended up just losing all of them, while Xinhua was still able to keep at least 3 or 4 crossbows alive. And that means that Miguel's going to be on his own. On the other hand, he was able to take 3 villagers with him. Nice job. He's going to be heading to Lix, in my opinion. Try to get a couple of villagers on him, too. Considering that the TCs are all up for him. Only 2, though. Let me take a look at Lix's point of view. He's got 2 TCs only. It's not what we are used to see here. Milford.
Yeah, obviously, the game before he went into much more heavy boom, but this one he went for 2 stables, and he's doing a good job putting a lot of pressure on Nikov there, who's still struggling to even click to Castle Age here. Let's see if Lick's defense is good against the potential raid of Miguel here.
Yeah, definitely Miguel needs to try to come here and save his teammates. I guess those knights are going to be enough. He's still missing the +2 upgrade. A couple more seconds and you will have it. I don't like this positioning for him. He's fighting down the hill against the knights from Lix. I'm afraid that he could actually lose this, but then again, more and more knights for him coming. Yeah, it's gonna be a close fight. It's gonna be a very close fight, but seems to me like Miguel at this point could actually be winning it. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's still very close. The Knights of Licks are very low HP, so that is Miguel is gonna win the fight. Nice job. Nikov is gonna have his economy safe for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being only. Now clicking up to Castle Age, still having some archers left and trying to raid Chao Ching a bit. By the way, on the other side, Mentalist was actually able to kill 2 villagers with his remaining drush. So getting every just unit to full potential there. Nice move.
Well, nice job.
But,
nice job.
yeah.
I'm sorry I missed it. I can see one of the dead bodies there. So nice job here by Mentalist. And he's gonna try to fight the knight. There's no way he can do anything, especially with a couple of crossbows in behind. But there it is. He took a couple of HP out of that knight. Better than nothing. Let me take a look at what is Nikov doing here. He found a nice spot here to try and kill a couple of the villagers from Xiaoxiong. As far as I can see, at least one of the villagers went down. Nice job here by Nikov. And what about Miguel? Let me try to understand what is Miguel doing with his knights.
Miguel is going for full knights in Castle Age, adding a 3rd and a 4th stable now, having +2 defense, going for handcart, having +1 attack, having bloodlines, now adding a monastery to maybe heal his knights or get some relics. So he will go for full raid, and he's raiding against Lauching. Pretty nice.
Blue player, yeah, pretty much the other side of the map, so to speak. He's going to be ignoring a little bit Licks, but he's got so many knights on Hingua space. Will he have enough to defeat this? Let me see. He's not having the best of the fights here at the top side. He needs to go back. He's going to lose a couple of knights in the process. At least one went down to the TC fire, and because a little bit of the pathfinding as well. At the same time, killing a couple more villagers here on the stone. He was able to get a couple of the villagers here on the wood line as well. Still doing a nice and decent amount of damage. And Xinghua is going to be hurting from this raid, I feel like.
I wanted to say Lauching is in trouble concerning villagers, but he still is quite fine. He still has 52 villagers at this stage compared to the 60 of Miguel who's getting the force link, so it is actually okay for him. But obviously having a lot of villagers either of those.
Once more Nikov attacking alone here. I'm not sure I like this. Yeah, he's gonna be caught off guard once more. Nikov, why you do this, sir? Why do you do this? He's gonna lose everything that he's got there because Miguel is just too far away to try and help him. Do you think this is a big deal or not necessarily?
Well, his army alone wouldn't do anything anyways, because if he's getting the double, he would need help from Miguel anyways, so at this time he's just putting the pressure on Chao Ching, and it's just forcing Lix to help and not help against the raid from Miguel against Lauching, so I think it was absolutely an okay option.
And Miguel going ballistics here on Xinghua. He doesn't leave the guy alone. He was there with a couple more knights, and you can see that all the TCs from Xinghua were idle for such a long time, and still more knights pouring in. Looks like he's going to be concentrating his efforts on Xinghua, but I feel like he needs to do the same on Lix at any time soon in the game now, Nilford.
Miguel now going for the university, so he wants to put on more pressure, maybe even with Cavaliers, and maybe later is now clicking up into Imperial Age, and now he's going for Lix. Lix are preparing some monks and sending some knights, so he is aware of the potential threat from Miguel.
Well, I'm not sure he's got the numbers to fight this off, though. He's got 2 monks. I guess that's a nice help. But Miguel's going to be fully concentrating on him, even though looks like Nikov is going to be suffering a little bit of a raid here. Not a little bit, quite a huge raid, in fact. A lot of crossbows from Xiaoxiong, and I'm not sure that Miguel can just completely ignore Nikov and go straight into Lix. I feel like he needs to send at least a couple of knights to Nikov.
Well, for now, Nikov is in an okay position, still having houses, building some stone walls behind it, and I think he's buying time quite well, because if Lix and Chao Ching are deciding to go down, they will even face the castle of Nikov there.
Yeah, and you can see that Miguel indeed gave up on Lix. He's going to be coming back to try to save Nikov. He's concentrating his efforts here in the middle of the map, or maybe he's just going to ignore that and go straight into Xiaoxiong base, and that could be a very nice thing to do, because Xiaoxiong's got basically virtually no walls. He's got a couple of TCs, but those are not going to be any dangerous to this knights with +2 armor and +2 attack as well. And that's exactly where he's heading to. He's heading to Xiaoxiong. He's going to be able to take a very nice amount of villagers with him there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This raid will be big, and all the monks of Chongqing are offensive, so not even any converts possible there. Now Lux is sending all his knights as well, but the numbers are for Miguel, and Miguel is streaming with so many more
Look at the mini
knights
map.
all
Yeah,
over the map.
look at the mini map. You can see all those purple dots just pouring in straight into Xiaoxiong's base. I did see a couple of fort villagers. I'm interested to see what exactly is going to go with them. Maybe going to drop a siege workshop somewhere here between Xiaoxiong and Lix. And I'm taking a look at the incredible amount of damage that Xiaoxiong is doing with those crossbows. Was able to kill at least 4 or 5 villagers from Nikov. Definitely not ideal. And the knights from Miguel still weren't quite able to do the amount of damage that he was hoping for. Xiaoxiong lost virtually no villager. That means he's going to be heading to Lix once more.
Yeah, nice defense. There were Lux and Chongqing walling a bit, defending with the monks. But Miguel obviously is only running because he's waiting for the big upgrades. That's 4 defense, 4 cavaliers. And he will do a lot of damage on Lux, who did not click up and even getting denied by so many villagers. This game is looking good for Unforeseen so far.
Oh my god, he wasn't able to complete the gate there. So nice spot there, very nice catch. He's going to be killing so many villagers from Lix. At the same time, he's attacking the TC. And just as you said, he was waiting in order to have that Cavalier upgrade. +4 is on the way, almost finished as well. Looks to me like he should have waited a little bit more, maybe. I guess he can still win this fight, especially considering he's got the armor upgrade as well. Still a couple of knights are there from Lix. He's going to be sending his monks. Yeah, he's chilling a little bit too much with those monks. On the bright side for him, Lix wasn't even able to click to Imperial Age, so he's going to be having a hard time here.
Oh yeah, Miguel obviously will have bad fights all over the map because he is controlling like 3 groups at this stage. Now clicking a Paladin upgrade, soon to have all the important upgrades for all his Paladins. Having the siege forward, doing raiding on Lix, did some raidings against Xiaoqing, always in the base of Lovecheng. The only player who is kind of booming is Mr. Yo, but Mr. Yo has to face Chris now, and I think this will be the next important phase of this game. Which of the Mongols is getting out of the better boom there?
Miguel still pouring in with more and more knights. Looks like Lix is gonna be fine for the time being. He was able to fight off all those Cavalier, but the problem seems to be now on Qinghua. He's gonna be facing a whole lot of Cavaliers pouring in from Miguel. Miguel needs to stop these villagers before it's too late. I'm afraid he's not watching yet. There it is. He missed it. He missed it. That means no more Cavalier running into the base of Xinghua. That means Xinghua just needs to face off these Cavalier, which are not a whole lot of them. And with a couple of monks and the help of Lix, he might just do that without any problem.
Well, but he has 4 rams soon to be capped rams, so
well,
those
that's the next problem.
Won't be for long. And now the Paladin upgrade will finish any second, so the struggle is just real, and more Paladins knocking at the door of Jingwa, who is still quite far away from clicking Imperial Age on his own.
Paladin upgrade has been completed. That means things are just gonna get more and more grim here for Xinghua and Lix as well. Miguel doing such a nice job. Looks like this is a little bit also in the hands of Xiaoxiong. He needs to push quite fast into Nikov, even though it looks like the score between those two players are quite similar. So Nikov apparently was able to recover a little bit. He was definitely behind Xiaoxiong at some point in the game.
A lot of Paladins went in there for Miguel, breaking the walls of Lovecheng, who weren't able to finish the walls. I think it would be good for Unforeseen to now switch into slinging Chris, because having elite to Mangudai there would absolutely help against Mr. Yo. And obviously no one is in the position of SY to actually sling Yo. And if the Mongols wins against the Mongol on the right hand side, it's not even a problem if Miguel isn't killing anymore.
Looking really good here for the Unforeseen team. That TC is definitely gonna fall, because there are a couple of rams there. There are paladins. Nothing that Xinghua can do against this. Is not even on Imperial Age. Was he even able to click? No, he didn't even click to Imperial Age. So the only thing he can do now are Pike. And Pike against Paladin, definitely not the best of the options. But then again, what else can you do?
Well, obviously Pikeman is kind of a counter, but without any good upgrades, only +1, +0, not the greatest, and obviously they're so slow. Not having good civilizations with camels to defend, like Chinese, like Mongols, who can actually spare some heavy camels to send over and defend against Miguel is just hurting them so much.
Oh boy, this is looking really good here for the Unforeseen team. A very important rating here by Miguel, doing such a nice job with those paladins, with those rams. I guess it's time to take a look at what's happening here between Yo and between Chris. Chris on 130 population, Mr. Yo 123. Not a very big difference, but we can see that Miguel is coming in with a couple of paladins, going to be turning the fight around, and that definitely is going to be favoring Chris. Chris does not seem to have any army, or at least not very much. He's gonna be waiting for this elite Mengyu dice to come in. The upgrade is now finished. Mystery was concentrating on the arbalists first. What do you think about this?
Well, obviously Chris is now going for Elite Mangodite, the strongest unit in the game as least cost efficient wise, and Yo thought, okay, I had this faster push, and he still had a lot of expos left from Castle Age, so he went into Arbalest, but Chris just was able to defend, having his castles on the hill, having a good eco as well, and now getting the help from Miguel. It's just putting him in prime position to get into the strongest composition of this game.
And look at
Paladins
Hingua.
and
He's
Elite
gonna disappear from the map. He's just gonna completely disappear from the map. He's running away with the villagers. The population is 50. It's an impressive performance from Miguel, helping at the right side, helping on the left side. He's right now trying to help Nikov a little bit. He suffered a couple of conversions there. It's a nice job here by Xiao Xiong. Looks like he will be able to push in for a little bit longer, but they're not going to try, and this is the point for the Unforeseen team. Nice job on the home map of the Chinese team, bringing in the series to a 2-1 result. A little bit unexpected, but looks like going for Essex did pay off here.
Yeah.
New meta has been developed.
Yeah, I think like slinging in the middle you could have done with Chinese as well. So I think Aztec wasn't the big thing. It was more of so great ratings from Miguel, so much map awareness, rating basically 3 players to full potential, putting Jinghua down so perfectly, and this was what won them the game.
Yeah, and they've got